guys, I'm Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a book review for you for a book called Nina is Not Okay by Shappi Khorsandi. This is a book that tells the story of Nina. Something has happened to Nina when she was drunk and the next day she could not remember anything about that night. This is basically the story of a rape survivor. I have a lot to say about this book, so let's dive straight in. It is very much the story of Nina's journey through alcoholism and through coming to terms with being raped and admitting to herself that it is not her own fault, but it is the fault of the bastard who has raped her. And I have to say, I despised this book at first. I even made a status update on Goodreads where I said I didn't get why this book had a 4 point something average on Goodreads with so many ratings. I didn't get it because I despise the main character Nina. I despise the way this was written. I literally hated everything about it. But I judged too early. When I read on and when the character development started to kick in, I realized that I was wrong. I was very, very wrong because this book has made me cry and a lot has happened in this book. And it was nothing like I expected it would be. It is written in first-person perspective. I marked some quotes from Nina where she was judgmental, where she was being a little bitch at the beginning of the book. And that is why I wanted to build my case. I wanted to make an argument in my review video because I knew I was going to do one. And I wanted to build my case. I wanted to take a stand and say, this is not a good book. This is what this book did wrong. And I am going to point out these quotes to you, because they show the character development throughout the book. On page 8, Nina talks about a friend of hers called Zoe. She's sound. She's just not silly like we are. She reads a lot and isn't a div like girls as pretty as her can be. Me and Beth have a theory that girls who are really pretty are often dull. Page 9. The boys from St. Benedict's never usually looked at girls like me. They liked cool, tall, blonde girls like Zoe who don't say much and flick their hair. Here, Nina is talking about a dad, the dad of a friend of hers. He's young. Beth's dead. He's not even 40 yet. My mom is 43, ancient. Let's keep in mind that Nina is 17. I'm 18. Both of my parents are over 50. How is 43 ancient? I just want to point it out. Back to judgmental shit. Page 26. People shouldn't shave their heads, have a cool nickname or mad tattoos unless they are genuinely interesting. They shouldn't be allowed to lure you in, then waste your time. On that same page, men love a damsel in distress as long as she's hot, of course. No guy wants a fat girl with issues. Men always go for Zoe. It's boring. Talking about another friend of hers. Trish is my emergency friend for when there is no one else about. Then Trish says to Nina, "Oh, and you kept calling me the incredible bulk." And Nina thinks, "Oh my god, I did as well. Trish is quite fat. Oh my god, that's horrible." At least she realizes he's being a fucking stuck-up bitch. She's weird and a bit embarrassing to be seen with, but she never gets annoyed with me. That's literally right after that quote I just told you. Never mind. Beth is being a fucking swot. I have no money left. I think about texting Trish, she buys me drinks, but it's too lame relying on her for a night out again. She depressed the hell out of me and men never come over to our table when I'm with her. Then later on in the book, Nina says this to a friend of hers. "I don't feel like shit. I had fun, and if you're a feminist, I'm so angry I actually use finger quotations for feminist. Then you shouldn't be so fucking judgmental." Says who? Like, literally, you've been nothing but judgmental. Ava was dressed in practically nothing, showing off her boobs and ass, and she flirted with all the guys and didn't make an effort to talk to any girls. Someone said she was a slag. I think it was me. Beth was outraged and said it was judgment and slut-shaming. I don't think it was. I just thought Zoe's cousin was a slut. Excuse me? We are sort of friends, even though Sammy, someone else again, is obnoxious. She's not the type you choose as a lifelong friend, but she always knows a cool party to go to if you're in with her. She's rich too! Yay! If you don't mind, I'm going to sit a bit further back because the sun is shining and really annoying. Next quote. Oh, yeah. Bit of context. So Nina has a drinking problem and she goes to a school counselor. Remember, Nina is not of legal age to drink yet. Then, her counselor says this. Gwen's suggestion is, try alternating your drinks. One drink, then a glass of water, alcohol, the next one water. Great advice, Gwen. Great advice to say this to someone who is underage. Well done. Another Trish quote. Poor Trish, she thinks she's made friends when really people hang out with her, either to take the piss or because she is the only one who is always on her own and is grateful for company. I realise that I am guilty of the latter. Great you realise that. Change your behaviour, bitch. She doesn't seem to have any other friends besides me. I'm not sure who could put up with her. I like her because she is always the same. She's always in exactly the same mood. Nothing shocks her. Nothing much upsets her. You always know where you are with Trish. She's like a comfy old sofa. Wow, you really know how to make a girl feel good, Nina. So having said all that, I think you can imagine why I hated this book so much at first, because things like this really annoy me. Having said that, when I read on, I noticed a change in Nina. Things were happening and Nina started realizing she was raped and she had an alcohol problem and she started to better her behavior. I don't have examples of this, but she became less judgmental. She started hanging out with Trish because she actually liked her and stuff like that. She became a better person, I want to say. But I was really annoyed with her for the first part of the book, which is why I despised it so much. But she really became better throughout the book. But having said that, why I despise the writing is because the writing is so very English, and I want to compare it to TV shows like My Mad Fat Diary and Skins, where they talk with accents you don't normally see on TV. On TV you normally see the posh English accents, and you don't see it on My Mad Fat Diary or Skins, and these you maybe have heard in the quotes, but really English words are used, like slang. And I wasn't used to that, and after I got used to it, I started liking it kind of, but at first it was really weird for me because I honestly thought, what the heck am I reading? Is this bad writing? I honestly wasn't sure. But there are a lot of issues dealt with in this book: manipulation, rape, alcoholism, anorexia, fuckboys, lots of issues. I may have even forgotten some, but honestly, a lot of things were dealt with, and I think they were dealt with in a good way, kind of. It's just sad that not everyone got a good ending, but I did feel like this is a promising author. Shappi Khorsandi, I don't know if I pronounced it right, probably not, but I felt like she has a lot of promise in writing, because I felt like she created an amazing rape survivor story. I don't think I've ever read a book that portrayed rape so well. Because at first it was annoying, because it wasn't, in the first part of the book, rape wasn't really talked about. Nina talked to nobody about that evening. It bothered her, but she didn't know what was bothering her because she couldn't remember the night that it happened. But something happened and Nina remembered what happened, and suddenly the spotlight was on her and on this rape case. And that was what I was waiting for, because it is in the premise and you get, rape is not set in the premise, but it is hinted at. It is hinted at that she gets raped. And in the first part of the book, it wasn't talked about at all. And that was what annoyed me, because I was expecting a rape story. And it was not what I got. I got a girl who was judgmental, who drank too much, who was bitchy to her friends, who was sleeping with literally everyone and not thinking about it in the slightest. And that was what annoyed me. But when she started to better herself and her character development kicked in, I started to like Nina as a person. So I think that will conclude my review. I just wanted to say, I think this was a very weird book for me. A book I started out with despising it and ended up loving. Like, it's honestly a 4-star book for me. I just wanted to point out that your opinion can change so much of a book, and I was being judgmental at first with not liking it and despising it and putting my opinion out there, like, I don't get why anyone likes this. And then I finished it and I was like, I get it. I do get it. I judged too soon. And I normally don't do that, but this book, I was like, this is not going to get better. And it did. It really did. And I'm glad I pushed on. So this is my spoiler-free review of Nina Is Not Okay by Shappi Khorsandi. I hope you will check it out. Let me know your thoughts down below if you have read or if you want to read it, what you think of my review. So thank you for watching. Goodbye!